Majlis diteruskan dengan sesi kedua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud bin Bakar, Presiden Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia. Yang berusaha Puan Hajah Zaharah binti Abdul Samad, Ketua Pustakawan Perpustakaan Tunku Tun Aminah UTHM, merangkap Ketua Program Exlib. Barisan Ketua-Ketua Pustakawan Universiti Awam, Barisan Timbalan-Timbalan Ketua Pustakawan Universiti Awam, tuan-tuan, puan-puan, para peserta program yang dihormati. Program Exlib sesi kedua akan diteruskan dengan perkongsian oleh yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud bin Bakar. Untuk makluman, program ini akan dikendalikan oleh Puan Zaharah binti Abdul Samad selaku moderator program. Untuk pengetahuan yang berbahagia Datuk, Puan Zaharah binti Abdul Samad merupakan Ketua Pustakawan Perpustakaan Tunku Tun Aminah Universiti Tun Hussein Malaysia. Sebelum berhijrah ke UTHM pada tahun 2018, beliau pernah berkhidmat di Perpustakaan Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia dari tahun 1991 hingga 2016. Selepas itu, beliau telah berkhidmat sebagai pinjaman KPT untuk pembangunan Perpustakaan Gunasama Hub Pendidikan Tinggi Paguh dari tahun 2016 hingga 2018. Puan Zaharah ketika ini merupakan Ketua Program bagi Program Kepimpinan Ketua Pustakawan 2021-2022 dan juga berada dalam Jawatankuasa Open Access Technical Initiative. Tanpa membuangkan masa, majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan Puan Hajah Zaharah binti Abdul Samad dan yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud bin Bakar untuk perkongsian topik sesi kedua ini, Engaging Positive Attitude in Library Leaders. Dengan hormatnya, dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Puan Raudah, pengerusi majlis pada sesi ini. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud bin Bakar, Presiden Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia. Barisan ketua yang dihormati. Alhamdulillah, kita akan meneruskan program kedua bersama seorang tokoh hebat dalam bidang kewangan Islam, iaitu Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar. Terima kasih Datuk di atas kesudian meluangkan masa bersama kami untuk berkongsi tajuk Engaging Positive Attitude in Library Leaders. Sebelum itu, izinkan saya membacakan ringkasan profil yang berbahagia Datuk. Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar adalah insan dengan pelbagai bakat, dari seorang intelektual syariah kepada penasihat syariah dan usahawan syariah. Beliau sentiasa dahagakan lebih banyak wadah bagi menyumbang kepada dunia sejagat. Beliau adalah pengerusi Majlis Penasihat Syariah Bank Negara Malaysia, Suruhanjaya Security Malaysia, Lembaga Perkhidmatan Kewangan Labuan dan Perpadanan Pengurusan Kecairan Islam Antarabangsa. Beliau dikenali sebagai seorang penasihat syariah yang terulung di Malaysia. Juga tersenarai sebagai salah seorang dari 10 orang cendekiawan keuangan Islam dunia sehingga saat ini. Beliau juga menganggotai banyak badan penasihat syariah institusi keuangan Islam di seantero benua seperti Amundi Asset Management France, Bank of London and Middle East London, Dow Jones Islamic Index New York dan lain-lain lagi. Beliau juga merupakan Presiden ke-8 Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia dan pengasas syarikat Khidmat Nasihat Kewangan Islam Amani Advisor. Pada tahun 2014, Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar telah dianugerahkan gelaran Tokoh Perdana Anugerah Maulidur Rasul 2014 oleh Yang di-Pertuan Agong sempena sambutan Maulidur Rasul peringkat kebangsaan. Beliau juga adalah Chairperson in Islamic Banking and Finance di Yayasan Tun Ismail Muhammad Ali di Fakulti Ekonomi dan Muamalat Universiti Sains Malaysia. Beliau menerima pendidikan awal di Sekolah Kebangsaan Sungai Kuruk Baru Al-Ustaz Kedah, Maktab Mahmud dan Kolej Islam Kelang. Beliau melanjutkan pengajian dalam bidang syariah di University of Kuwait dan seterusnya memperolehi PhD dari University of Central United Kingdom. Beliau juga adalah seorang penulis yang hebat. Buku beliau, Syariah Minds in Islamic Finance, telah memenangi anugerah buku terbaik kewangan Islam pada Malam Anugerah Kewangan Islam 2016. Selain daripada itu, beliau turut mengarang beberapa buah buku yang meliputi pelbagai genre penulisan seperti motivasi, politik dan juga agama. Di antara tajuk buku beliau adalah Saya Ada 25 Jam Sehari, Anak Desa ke Persada Antarabangsa, Duha Cahaya Pagi yang Terang, dan yang terbaru adalah novel fiction COVID-25. So, tahniah Datuk di atas penulisan buku-buku yang menarik. Tanpa melekahkan masa, dengan segala hormatnya, saya mempersilakan Yang Berbahagia Datuk untuk mengupas tajuk kita pada sesi ini, iaitu Engaging Positive Attitudes in Library Leadership. Dipersilakan Datuk.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi al-amin, Sayyidina Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, amma ba'd. Thank you very much, Puan Hajah Zahra, as the moderator for this session, a distinguished participant among the Chief Librarian and Deputy Chief Librarian. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Allow me to put on record my appreciation and gratitude for inviting me to speak to all of you, the great Chief Librarian of the public universities in Malaysia. I'm a bit nervous talking to you because you are, I would consider, one of the vertical of knowledge creation within the fraternity of the high learning institution. I think I have known Puan Hajah Zahra and have many other great librarians in the past, so you have been very active to connect between the requirement of the student and the staff as well as the needs of the industry. So it's not that easy to be in that position. I wouldn't envy you that much of becoming chief librarian, because you need to be ahead of everyone, because library is the source of knowledge. Library is the gravity, the center of gravity for the universities and colleges. And today I have been invited, thank you very much for the invitation, to speak to all of you, my beloved colleagues among the Chief Librarian and Deputy Chief Librarian and senior officers of the university, on a topic which is very close and dear to my heart, and surely to everyone's heart and mind as we progress further in our career as well as in our daily life, because the positive attitude is a requirement for everyone. We can live longer, and we can live happier, and we can live with more achievement if we are able to grasp and to embed the positive attitude within our personalities every single moment in our life. So thank you for giving me this topic. It's quite insurmountable and of tall order to speak to you on the positive attitude. I'm sure you have already echoed that attitude. For me is to refresh and to rewind and perhaps to reflect perhaps new and perspective of having this positive attitude in discharging our liabilities. I won't be talking that much. I will be speaking for about 45 minutes, allow me, then we can stop for any interaction and question and answers at the end of the session. First and foremost, I think I like to begin all my presentation by asking everyone, what are the pain points? What are the pain points of our, employment, company, sector, even our position? Apakah titik-titik kecederaan dan kesakitan? What are the really pain point or point which are painful within our fraternity? As far as the library is concerned, you have surely many pain points which you need to address, and you need to put the right measures to navigate and to overcome this pain point. Perhaps not having good quality of human resources, perhaps. They are good officers, but they're not good librarian, for example. Perhaps the budget, you are always crying about the budget to have more relevant reports, academic reports, which are very, very expensive as we move on. And you might have the problem of slow and lukewarm attitude by the management when it comes to digitalization of your, the whole archive and the whole assets that you have. You are managing a lot of assets, and these assets are scattered and cannot be digitalized due to limited or no budget at all. So there are many other issues. Perhaps you have a good library and good facade infrastructure, but the ratio of students coming to the university is only 10% over 1 year. So it's quite frustrating. You have great facilities, great books, great reports, great documents, but only 10 or 15 or 20% of the staff are coming through your premise or stopover, and you might have less than that for the students. So you are confronted with all kind of problem, pinpoint, which is not my duty today to ask you to list down all the pinpoint. Perhaps you can list down now for yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and try to travel with me together. How could we solve and perhaps start thinking of solving these issues as we progress in the next 45 minutes or 1 hour or so, by having the positive attitude. So I have to, put my admiration to all of you, because I live with the librarian all the way. Even when I was a small kid during the primary school, I volunteered to be pengawas perpustakaan, what they call it, to be close to the great teacher who come the library. I like to go to the library. I like to borrow books. I like to finish book every weekend when I was at the age of 7 to 12 years old. Then move on to the secondary and the tertiary education. I literally sit on the floor reading books in Kuwait. What more when I did my PhD, the library is something that the smell of library is something I love to do. Even the smell of library is something that you have to make it exciting for the student, for everyone to come in. The welcoming, entrance of it, and the stairs going up, or entrance with a beautiful decoration to make people feel welcome to the library. And you give some flexibility for student, for staff to have chit chat and cup of tea here and there. That was in 1990s. Even now it should be more modern and more trendy, I would assume. Library is no longer a static place. Library is very, for me, it's a living place. As books are living document as well. So you have to bring the level of dynamism in the library. And in fact, I still recall, ladies and gentlemen, whenever I need to have a book or an article being copied from everywhere in the world, I just go to the counter and put my order, and they will do whatever they can to make the book borrowed or sent or copied from everywhere in the world within 1 week. And the way they call me and the way they interact with me as a personalized solution. So this is what I have experienced in St. Andrews. They have what they call personalized solution. They know you by name because you keep coming all the time. And this is something that I don't think our librarian would call so and so by name. But when I was doing my PhD, they call me Muhammad. Muhammad, you have a passage, passage today. You have a book coming for you, and blah blah blah. So this is the historical part of it, and that make my life very exciting. The first thing I do when I got my PhD is to go to the librarian and say thank you to her, and the old lady, because she had been the vertical of my success in my PhD. So coming back to your function and job and duties, I think I don't think I can go through your job spec. You are responsible for collection, cataloging, circulation of the book in the library and beyond the library to the community and society, and you are in sync with the RR 4.0, you must be thinking and putting and planning of digitalization and the issue of empowerment. You have to empower the staff and the student to be more empowered within your library and not being control and observe suspiciously and whatnot, and to rejuvenate the whole environment of the library. And of course, the basic, obligation is to do the best services that you could do to make everyone smiling and enjoying when they are in the library. Even when they leave the library, they would like to come back in the near future. So this is something that you have been doing, I'm sure. Of course, some of the librarians are being challenged to think about external resources of funding, and you might be tasked as well by the university. Not abnormal. Some university will ask you think together with the university to create wakaf, donation, and what have you, to bring more donors either in cash or in kind. I have some problem because I think I'm not referring to any place or universities. Some people got upset when we have something which is not in the mainstream, something which is new, trendy, fashionable, not tested yet, and they become very resistant to the idea of whatever. The moment we mention about wakaf, people got allergic. Oh, this cannot be done. This is authority of the state and the mosque and whatnot, without putting the right attitude of welcoming any form of donation, any form of good heart by the people to contribute to the university. And some people say, well, we have that book too much already. We don't have the storage. Then we have to reject and decline so many books donated by the student, by the lecturer, because we don't have space and we don't think that collection is good. Without looking into, because when you manage the librarian, when you manage the library, it's not about managing the place of the library, but managing the source of information. And that can be anywhere else other than your main building, which is so beautiful. So I attest to you, you can create mini library in the student accommodation, in the student union and what have you. So the mindset of the librarian is to create the whole value chain of source of knowledge everywhere in the university. And I have seen some cases, people reject some book. We don't like this kind of book because textbook and so many chonting over there, we don't like this book. But if you have the positive attitude, you're welcome. No one being declined. And this is the attitude of, good positive attitude. You welcome the knowledge, you welcome the donor of the knowledge, and you make that easy and happening to the whole community. You ask the student, your volunteers to manage the book, send the book to the other university, other colleges which are deprived of accessing the good state-based colleges and the Sekolah Menengah, the B40 recycle the book. You are part of the whole exercise, and you don't want, you have to make your hand dirty at the end of the day. Being a librarian, you have to make your hand a bit dirty. You have to be on the ground and understanding the real requirement of all stakeholders. They are not of one category, plenty and many level of categories of your stakeholders. Okay, now after saying what I have said, let me take you through the whole journey of positive attitude. I think it's not easy to define what is not positive attitude. Let us attempt at the definition at the end of our journey. Perhaps certain visualize positive attitude better and easy having this and look backward to the very positive attitude. From my humble opinion, aspects of having attitude, numerous, limited in nature. For the sake, I can talk about 3 or 4 impacts. A positive person, a positive librarian for that matter. If a positive person, dichotomy in the outside the very much, you are a positive person anywhere, education. From my observation, I'm still struggling to be a positive. Maybe a positive person requires you to high quality of all the time. The word all the time is the have to underline. Okay. I would person attitude, panicky whenever she is confronted challenges unimaginable, he and shouting, showing the body language out, but the real character, the real negativisms within your personality through your body language, the air muka, the reaction of the face, reaction to the something that you don't like, or even the way you walk, the way you smile and whatnot. There's a good book on the body language. I have read the book about 5, 10, 7 years ago, and I try to understand myself first, because sometimes this is a normal reaction of yourself toward the counterparty. So you need to observe that, and you need to be aware that you cannot be offensive to others, and you have to control even your body language. What more of your tongue and your action and what have you. So solving mind, I mean, understand it, perhaps listen to it, understand it, and try to have something working at the back of your mind, some probable solution and measures that you can think of immediately. I think I can do this, I think I can do that, without going into detail, but that kind of, I think I can do that, is good enough for you to create the positivism in your personality and not to be reactive. Because you can expect the counterparty, be them your bosses, your stakeholder, your student, of the same level. You need to be open, you need to be honest that people are of different expectation of you and of your organization. Second, cool character, but very firm in decisioning. When you have made a decision, you have to be firm in your decision-making process. But you have to be very, very, very cool and know what more of librarian. Librarian reflect your personality. The books you are managing must be reflecting your personality. You are managing the source of knowledge, the source of civilization, and everything about library is about your personality. So the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you interact, what more when you are being confronted with many issues and challenges that you don't like. At that moment, at that juncture, you need to reflect that you are the man of the library. You are the man of being so cool, so humble, and so down to earth. Though you don't like it, that happened, but you have to show you are above the board and you are reflecting. This is even if you're in the mosque, the imam cannot be shouting, cannot be screaming, though he's not in favor of so many things, but this is the attitude. You are carrying the image of your institution. And you are not just a pasar malam guy or a broker in the stock market or car dealer. You are a custodian of the books, and that should be internalized every single day, that you are working, thinking, planning, sleeping, dreaming with books. And this is the very noble position that you have. You are designated as the man of books, the man of knowledge, the man of knowledge management, if I may put that better. The third impacts of having a positive attitude in your personality, you are a person of full of insights and ideas and perspective, and not only one solution. You are always able to use the right narrative, right vocabularies, right words, and this is a positive attitude. When you are positive, you can have more than one word to describe one thing and one phenomenon, because positive will train your mind and your heart and your soul to be able to communicate better and to use different words and vocab for different people at different circumstances. The Prophet ﷺ was so positive in the case of war, in the case of crisis, in the case of normal or abnormal situation. The Prophet ﷺ was so confident, taking the matters in his control, and full of insights, full of ideas, and he knew what to do, and he knew what to say and what not to say in any cases. The more you read about his biography, of course, with the inquisitive mind, you can absorb this positivism in the life of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which relates to my point just now. The Prophet was full of insights. Of course, he was revealed, he was guided by revelation, but in our case, we need to train our mind to be positive, because positive can help us to say the right word at the right time, or to say many different ways of communication for different circumstances and conditions. And the last thing, perhaps under the impacts of having or being a positive person, inshallah, you would be the best candidate to be able to connect everyone around you. You are the connector, you are the bridge, and you are the synergetic personality. Only a positive person can do that. He can give and take, he can negotiate, he can ask the other party to let go one of the requirement, and you should be able to do the same thing for the other counterparty. You can resolve all the conflict. And this is a very high skill of management, the connecting and the synergetic mindset and the skill set. And you can't do this if you are negative, and if you are half positive. You should be, full positive. You are fully positive mindset, and then only then the bandwidth of positivism will roll out and will dictate on you, and you can dictate on your environment, on your organization. And I hope we can do that in the near future, because you have to carry that positive attitude, because you are in the center of knowledge between the student, lecturers, and the management. So you have to have your own personality. People look high at you. People respect you a lot because you have the positive attitude in whatever you do or plan to do. How to achieve this, status and this great position? I wish we have the tablet, we can swallow it and done deal. But this is not the case in our life. Everything should be work on it, and should be, we have to put the effort to get what we want. How to get and how to gain the positive attitude in our profession and in our life. I mean, if you are senior already, that's good when you have gone through all the process. But if you are concerned about your successor or your succession planning, I think you need to really put a very high level of stress test. People cannot be what they should be if they have not been put under extreme stress tests. You need to purposely test the person under your management to see whether they are qualified to be one as the librarian or chief librarian in the future. So stress test is very important. And in our culture, in the university, in public universities or in the government sector, we don't talk about stress test that much. We take it by chance and by default, not by design, but in many private sector setup of the world, stress test is one of the most important tests that you need to go through. Sometimes you are not aware you have been tested to see your level of stress, your level of stress absorbent. You can absorb the stress, and this is something that you need to purposely and you need to design for that. Of course, for yourself, you want it to be tested. What more to your subordinate officers. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of complaint from the stakeholders that one of your officers, one of your senior or junior officers are not up to the mark. And this is, when we do stress tests, it does not mean you're going to penalize them or punish them, but the whole idea is to give them the opportunity to see their level, where are they basically when it comes to the stress test, and they can learn a lot. I purposely stress test my staff all the time. Some of them collapsed halfway through, cried, was screaming and shouting, and from the body language, I know they cannot take it anymore. And either I reduce the expectation, or I have to hire a new person because I have to readjust his or her post because I don't think he or she can handle that kind of job. Then I need to recruit new guy. But it is a loss to the company because you need to employ 2 people instead of 1 people. But I cannot wait for him or her to be qualified. I need to ask her to do something which is, or him to be a lower job, but I need to bring someone who can do a better job, who is much more able to absorb the stress test in all weather conditions. Second is aptitude tests. In the past, we do aptitude tests for those who are eyeing for higher posts, or the registrar, the bursar and whatnot, but the director or the vice chancellor and the deputy vice chancellor, I think we need to have the same thing for a very niche profession like librarian. It's a very niche profession, and that's why we need to have specially designed aptitude tests for the librarian and those who come under this section of employment. Just a suggestion, but up to you to take this further. Third, the librarian, every one of you in your fraternity must be reading certain books that help cultivating the right mindset. Books which help you to be positive, like Mindset, written by S.D. Carroll, Good to Great by Tim Collins, Built to Last. These are a few books. If you pick up 5 to 10 books along this theme, I think a lot of positive attitude can be internalized within yourself and within your organization. Take the book of Built to Last. How could we build our library that can last for 50, 100 years from now? So the thinking process is different from building a company just for 5 years or 10 years, rather than building a company for 100 years that can sustain the legacy. Good to Great, how to make your library not good, but great library for that matter. Many leaders, they can create they can establish, they can form good school and good hospital, good clinics and whatnot, good factory, but they are not great in nature. So what are the great attributes for great library? Perhaps this could be one assignment after this. What are the good character of the university and what are the great character of a good library, for example, or great library for that matter. And you cannot understand this assignment until and unless you have read this kind of book that opened up the challenge, the mind between, I mean, he compared between Sony and, for example, the other company in the West. So two companies putting all the characters, and this is a good company, this is a great company. And he compared the author, of course, all the way in his book to differentiate between good and great companies or individual or setup in the world. The last, tips would be, to have the scenario planning personalities. So again, in the public sector, because I belong to both public and private, scenario planning personalities is not the main focus. Sometimes we expect everything to be given by government. Our mind is very, what I say, expectation mind. We expect. We don't work hard to get what we want. In the private sector, we need to work hard to get what we want. The revenue stream, the reduction of the cost, the revenue, percentage going up. But in the government, fortunately or unfortunately, we expect everything to be given and ready-made. And we need to, given the current crisis and the budget has been reviewed and reduced and taken sometime halfway through, half of the year, government to take back what they have given. It happened nowadays, of course, as you are fully aware. So we need to have the scenario planning personality within ourselves. And we need to work hard. How can we share the resources? Again, this is my small footnote. I think we are still living in the isolation in Malaysia. Every university must have everything to become a great university. That shouldn't be the way. We need to learn, we need to have a new mindset of sharing. Now they talk about sharing economy, Grab sharing economy, waste sharing economy. Everyone is talking about sharing economy. But we at the public universities, we don't talk about sharing of resources, lecturers-wise, student-wise, books-wise, reports and whatnot. So I think it's quite a waste of resources because everything now, other than within our control, is moving towards sharing of everything. Amazon, Alibaba, Shopee, Grab, everything, they are sharing of economy. One platform, you can put everything on the platform and people can share. Transportation sharing. Sometimes they deliver, when they come back to the storage, they call reverse transportation. They bring back something to the to the factory, so it's not wasted. So the wastage is a new non-wastage environment, is a new economy of the world. So sharing economy is something that we need to discuss further. I'm new to the public universities after I left about 10, 15 years ago. I can still sense that the idea of working together is far fetched off. We are not that close and open and honest to work together to reduce our budget. So this is something the digitalization would help. And I'm also very much in the area of big data and fintechs and the AI. So I've been dealing with data almost every day, data on, dropout of students, on the poverty, on the job employment and opportunities, on managing the teaching of languages in Malaysia, the foreign workers problem, the banks opening account, everything. I'm looking at data every day. Perhaps I can look at your data of the books and the reports in the library. How are they repetitive and how are they not complementing one another? This is something, perhaps another session for Hajah Zahra, and this is might be a quite sensitive topic because the university has been trained for the last how many years be great in yourself. Pintu gerbang besar, pagar besar, logo besar, as if we are living in the old time. Nowadays, pintu gerbang, brick and mortar are no longer relevant. No border, no pintu gerbang. It become very infused with one another. And this is the future of public university. Cut costs, share the resources, and serve the same stakeholder, the student. They are our stakeholders whom we are supposed to look after and to make them great. They can be great leaders, great factory owners and whatnot, to bring back the dignity and the good profile of the country, of our beloved nation. Last section, now 11:40. What do we need to have to become a person of positivism in our mindset and skill set? Mindset and skill set. Inshallah, we would like to see in you, ladies and gentlemen, my beloved librarian, chief librarian and deputy chief librarian, 4 good things. The first, to see in you that you are good and amazing personality. People can feel that you are very good and amazing personality. From your dress, from your presentation, from your speech, from your narrative, from your management, from your interaction, you are very much approachable and people feel good about you. Good and amazing personality. Do whatever necessary, do this, do that, but do something because you are the source. You are the mirror of the books in your library. The second element, good environment and synergy. You have to create a new environment between yourself and the community at large. The management, senior management, the student, the volunteers, the community surrounding you, the human resource, and you need to fight for your staff in terms of new way of performance metrics, because sometimes you cannot follow the same metric of performance in other departments. So you have to be clever enough, intelligent enough to create a new metric of performances and bonuses if that is relevant in the current government scheme of compensation. It's up to you, but I don't think we should follow the normal metrics of performance in other agencies or department of the university. So good and amazing personality, good environment and synergy. And third, good support and leadership. You have to be able to appeal to the support and the leadership by the senior management of the university. I'm sure in many universities, chief librarian is one of the top senior managers of the university. So you are attending the meeting of the highest post in the university because you are very vertical. Without you, there's no meaning of the university. As simple as that. So you need to be shown, and like it or don't like it, I have the feeling that in the senior management of the university, though you are put in that post, you are deemed and construed and perceived as the least important among everyone, which is not right. So you need to fight back and you need to show to the university you are not less than anyone. You are equal to deputy directors, to the bursar, to the treasurer, whatever registrar. It cannot be deemed as someone in the lesser position. I'm not sure how are you going to do that, but you need to have a good support and good leadership to impress on others. So good personality, good environment, good support, and the last one, good luck for you to become better and able chief librarian and deputy chief librarian. I think with that, Puan Hajah Zahra, thank you very much for the opportunity. I hope my presentation is useful, though not structured. I have no slide and paper. I just try to be impromptu kind of presentation to relate my own experience in many parts of the world, many parts of the sectors. I'm in the academia to some extent, NGO to some extent, private, public, in the fintech, big data, AI, in Syariah world and the industry world, in sport and entertainment as well to some extent. So I have seen the whole spectrum of managing positive attitude. When I was interviewed in the studio of entertainment, or the photographer or the videographer, the floor manager, all of them are very positive. In fact, the highest positive culture I have seen in my life, not in the university, not even in the mosque, not even in my company, but in the small studio when they do the recording of your whatever interview or your slot. Every one of them was so positive. They don't shout at you, they don't scream at you, they follow your flow, and they make yourself feeling you are the guest of the honor within the 30 minutes recording, 1 hour recording. And this is a good environment. I learned a lot from them. I always thank them, always belanja them, tertarik, whatnot after the slot. But I can learn from the young people. I was saying to them, you are great of positive attitude, smiling all the time, and they give the feeling of welcoming to come back to the studio next day, next week, and next month. And this is something I learned from them a lot, and I can do the same thing, in other part of the organization. If we ourselves are willing to open up our mindset, we need to learn the positive attitude from others and not from ourselves. Ourselves, we are not the source of positive. We are just we are the student of positive attitude. Don't make ourselves the benchmark. Never ever. Thank you very much, Puan Hajah, and more than happy to take any easy question from you. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Datuk di atas perkongsian yang menarik. Okay. Sebagaimana yang Datuk sebutkan tadilah, kita sebagai profession pustakawan, kita adalah guardian of knowledge. Kita penjaga knowledge ini, dan sepatutnya kita sentiasa dikelilingi oleh buku-buku, bahan-bahan resources, ya, yang mana sepatutnya secara langsung dia juga akan mengaktifkan hormon positif dalam diri kita, ya Datuk, sebagai yang Datuk sebutkan tadi. Okay. So saya buka kepada soalan, okay, sebarang soalan daripada peserta. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan boleh berinteract direct dengan Datuk ataupun menulis di ruangan chat. Okay, sementara menunggu soalan daripada peserta, Datuk, saya ada satu soalan. Positive attitude ni dia berkait rapat dengan mindset, ya Datuk. Kalau kita baca banyak buku juga yang mengatakan bahawa attitude dan juga behavior seseorang itu sebenarnya bergantung ataupun berkait rapat dengan mindset. Everything is about mindset. So mohon pandangan Datuk, bagaimana sebenarnya, yalah kita ni manusia biasa, kadang-kadang mungkin kita boleh positif, tapi kadang-kadang kita macam sometimes quite difficult juga for us to control our emosi, kan, macam Datuk sebut tadi lah, kadang-kadang body language kita simpan, kita diam, tapi body language kita tu menunjukkan yang kita tak happy. Especially di library ni kita selalu berhadapan dengan pengguna yang berbagai ragam lah, Datuk. So mungkin Datuk boleh kongsi sikit atau bagi tips sikit bagaimana sebenarnya kita nak maximize kita punya mindset ni supaya dia boleh mengawal attitude kita dan juga tingkah laku kita, okay, supaya kita boleh menghayati, kita boleh sentiasa positif macam yang Datuk sebut tadi, dalam pemikiran, dalam hati dan juga dalam kita punya soul, kan. Kalau Datuk boleh elaborate sikit.
Okay. Mungkin kita kena ada satu section di library kita, section yang penting, ya. Di kawasan yang ramai orang datang berdasarkan data, tempat tu yang paling popular, paling sonok, ada cahaya, ada cahaya matahari, kalau tu malam ada lampu yang cantik, ada sofa yang menarik, colourful dan juga trendy, fashionable. Situ kita createkan satu corner, kita kata corner mindset lah. Sebab sebelum kita baca buku, kita buka kajian, nak baca report-report yang heavy, yang tough, kita kena createkan semangat untuk mengkaji, semangat untuk librarian menyantuni stakeholders kita. Jadi saya cadangkan di tempat itu letakkan buku-buku tentang mindset. Saya dulu pun tak faham apa itu mindset. tak faham sangat. Saya ada baca apa yang Carol Mindset, the first book. Dia bahagikan pada fixed mindset, growth mindset, penyakit-penyakit mindset, dan kita dapat tengok aku ada have that problem, so kena ubahkan. Then a few other books. I think kalau my esteemed librarian, chief librarian and deputy, kalau kita mulakan dengan baca 3 buku tentang mindset, I think this is the fastest way for you to understand really what do we mean by mindset, then how the mindset can change our character from negative to so positive, pada real positive punya personality. And one of the book I have written is called Mindset is Everything. Mindset is Everything. So this is my 2018 or 2019 I have written this book to capture my positive mindset in looking into NGO activities, politics, education, apalagi sport, entertainment, tourism, because I've been traveling around the world. I can see the positive attitude by the tourism agency in Kazakhstan versus Malaysia or UK or Japan. So I put the mindset in one book, not that thick though, dalam 80 pages, 100 pages, to reflect the mindset is everything in whatever we do. So to fast forward, to make the long story short, I think let the chief librarian, our esteemed colleagues, did 3 books on the mindset, and that can open up so many things and create that corner to perhaps that corner can be or what center or corner can be tukar-tukar lah, mungkin this month on mindset, the second month on what, jadi attraction, dan people yang comes itu boleh dapat lucky draw kan, the first 1,000, the first 100 dapat hadiah percuma. Jadi you ask people to come, and library sepatutnya macam pasar malam jugalah, minta maaf dengan bahasa ni, orang suka datang sebab ada benda yang dia nak beli, dia nak makan. Jadi that is the culture yang kita nak wujudkan, ada lucky draw every week, every month, and whatever. And think about that, because my problem when I was dekat UIA dulu waktu lecturer, I've done my survey quietly. I tanya my student dekat kelas, how many of you has ever gone to the library? Daripada 40 orang, mungkin 10 orang angkat tangan, fine, but 30% of that. How many of you have ever gone to the library more than 5 times in a semester? The number drop and drop and drop. Jadi that is that I have to give them exercise that they need to go to the library, and this is something that the lecturers got to be a bit creative, because if you ask them to do something without going to the library, no point of having big library in the university. So we have to connect, which I mentioned just now, to have a good environment and synergy. So you have to masuk Senate meeting, tell the dean and directors, this is what you need to do to make your student and your staff becoming a regular visitor to our library. And you have to track the report. Masuk Senate meeting, report, buku cukup, machine cukup, itu cukup. That is not your job. Your job is to increase the traffic to the library. And long hours. When people come to the library, tengok long dia punya duration, dia panggil apa? Vintage duration. Ni half an hour, 1 hour tak cukup. Tengok how many of the students really spend more than 3 hours. That is to be reported to the Senate. That is the vibrancy of the library. That's why you are very so important, because you are the KPI of the intellectual life in the university. Other than research output, ialah itu satu hal, the output, tapi the input tu dekat university, dekat library, the input dekat all the hours and traffic and visitors and time spent in the library, and how many books being borrowed every week, every day, every month, and what are the books being borrowed all the time, and what are the books never being borrowed all the time. So this is something within your forte and within your expertise. Again, the mindset, you baca buku yang built to last and whatever, banyak benda yang boleh kita belajar, and we need to learn from the research survey that people have done on many things. We can use in our context as a chief librarian. Don't reinvent the wheel. Thank you, Puan, for that question.
Assalamualaikum, Datuk. Saya Nur Rashkin daripada UTM.
Yeah.
Okay, Datuk, I thank you for supporting the library and so the librarians. as usual, biasanya library selalu organize a lot of activities dan sebagainya, not only at the university level but also at the national level. But it seems that sometimes effort being done to seems it's not visible enough to the top management. So how are we going to improve that supaya kita more visible to not only top management, also at the university community? Thank you, Dato'.
Sound familiar. Sound familiar. I hope the thing have changed, after I've left the university 15 years ago, but thank you for your question, Puan. I mean, it's quite, hard question and difficult question, to be honest, but this is a real problem within the university and from the outside perspective toward the library. I think we need to work harder a bit, and we need to make the library the center stage of the university, budget-wise, ratio-wise, the connectivity, the achievement of the university is being measured by the library. So that's why we need to have one dedicated workshop just to tackle on visibility, and you have to use the big data and AI to emerge as a champion. And you need to show to the university all the great successes of the university cannot be achieved without putting all the resources and attention to the library of the university. That's why do people go to the universities? But the library, are there good lecturers, are there good library at the same time? So, and people don't, if I may say this, allow me, people celebrate the output, not the input. You are the input. You are the one who put in place the input of the production of the output at the end of the day. Of course, naturally, people celebrate the, how many goals the football team yang score, tapi yang kat belakang tu, or the training, or the defender, or the midfielder and goalkeeper, people don't look at that. So we need to change to create a new script, if you like, a narrative. There are many ways to do that. I don't have the time to go through. Even in my company, my private practice, we need to make our name, our household name visible and very much of signal from afar. And you have to do that. The sooner the better. And I would encourage your esteemed, colleagues and friends among librarians to put the right strategy to be visible within the university, top management and beyond in the next 6 months to 1 year from now. Very, very visible. You have to have your own award. You have to have, those who are coming to the library more than 100 hours a year or 200 hours a year can get this incentive. So you busy. You have to make yourself busy all the time. Busy. Be a busy guy. Be a busy guy in the university and not very passive at the last mile. You have to be at the first mile all the way to the last mile of the university event. During convocation, during the registration of the student, you have to be all the way in front, and you have to create the impact in the senior management meeting and discussion. You are not the last paper to come in. You have to fight. Your paper will be the top 3 paper in all Senate meeting and management and whatnot. I've seen in my whole time agenda on library kat belakang, di ujung, other matter dan sebagainya. That shouldn't be the way. We do respect.
Datuk, ada soalan daripada Puan Siti Sumaizan. Okay. Datuk, how can we change the attitude of our staff from negative to positive waves?
You have to provide the role model, Puan. You have to show that you are a person of positive attitude, in the way you speak to them, the way you dress, the way you communicate, the way you challenge them, the way you lead them. You need to show that you are a very positive person. And people can see in you that you are very honest, you don't have any personal interest, and you are doing this because you wanted your organization to be respected by other stakeholders within the university. Role model is the most they call it action speak louder than word. Then action speak louder than words. So the chief librarian must be a man of role model, suri teladan yang baik. Itu yang pertama. Yang keduanya, those who are negative in their perspective, don't challenge them openly, because the more you challenge them, they become, a bit either they become a bit hostile or they just keep quiet and simpan dalam hati. Malay punya culture lah. I think if I were you, thank you very much for your ideas yang nampak negatif. Don't call them negative. All the problem, tak boleh buat, ini tak boleh, ini bukan biasa, ini luar biasa, ini tak boleh. Fine. If I were you, I will ask them to you appreciate their whatever idea, walaupun nampak negatif, sound negative, ask them to put in writing, and kata I will go through your writing, I will call them as a colleague to discuss openly. But the moment you ask them to put in writing, not many will come forward. And this is how Bill Gates ataupun apa yang Steve Jobs, how Steve Jobs transform. Dia kata the biggest problem in my company when I was asked to lead Apple company before he produced the first visionary product, iPad ni, dan juga the iPhone yang cantik itu, he was working for 7 years. All 7 years, he focused on the quality of the staff to rid of the negative attitude. This cannot be done. Why can't we manufacture, engineer the normal product as other people? They can no. We have to produce product design which is unthinkable by human, that our device become the best friend to human. People carry all the time. People like to carry our device all the time. They spend 7 years. So I was reading dia punya pengalaman. Interestingly, dia kata, I have so many negative stuff in my organization. And he said, you have to interview them, screen them, so that you can only admit those who are positive, ada vibrancy yang positif dalam company. But dia buat kelakar sikit, dia kata kalau it's too late already, you are surrounded by those staff who are negative. I just wish for you good luck sahaja. Disebut dalam dia buku. Tapi one of the management, dia kata everyone who is negative in my company, I will ask them to put in writing. Dia kata that has helped them to think and to become positive, because when the moment they were asked to write to put in writing, they become more rational, more balanced in their perspective, and they started thinking, oh, this can be done actually if you were to put a bit effort, a bit this on, what have you. So this is what I have learned from Steve Jobs. I did that style in my company. I was able to reduce the level of negativism to a kind of like family-based company. People are very positive. They wanted to help one another, wanted to take more challenges. They can raise their hand, I need more job to do. This is the kind of positivism we need to inculcate and we need to develop. And there could be many other ways. You have to read more books. I have read some books. I have learned some of the tips from Steve Jobs, from Bill Gates, from Sir Richard Branson, from Elon Musk. These are the great. Jack Ma, how did he manage the positive attitude among his partners in the early stage of building the Alibaba, and then another group they have established called the Ant Group, ANT, which was the biggest IPO in the world, which didn't take place because the government of China has killed them entirely for political reasons. But the way he developed the positive attitude among everyone in the company to make their company the biggest IPO of the world. What do? They just connect people. Small company come to their software, they give free of charge, and they create the value, and they convert their expertise into share of the company, 5%, 10%, and they become the biggest and the most successful company of the world. But somehow he was a bit outspoken, came the government, and he disappeared until today. I mean, disappeared. He's still alive, but no one knew what is happening to him. But anyhow, he was able to do that and read through. I mean, my suggestion, you have all the book with you. That's why you need to create the corner on this one, corner every month, every week, because students sometimes they cannot be so exposed to the heavy stuff. Library is heavy stuff. Takut nak masuk library, groan. Tapi how to make it more, it's a lifestyle punya rather than heavy dan menakutkan. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, soalan daripada Encik Jamaluddin Sulaiman, Datuk. How to deal with complacent staff? Complacent staff yang
faham.
Okay, easy, buat kerja asal buat kan.
First, give more job and assignment, put him or her under stress test. The same time, be good to him or her, bring her to your house, masak good food, you know, bring a family to their family, you know, play together, football or futsal or whatever. This is the way I do it, and inshallah, when the moment they see you strict with them on one side and very nice and friendly on the other side, I think they would see you as a role model and they will try to reach your expectation. It worked for me, and I'm sure it can work for you as well. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum Datuk.
Assalamualaikum.
Azhar dari USIM.
Yeah.
Nak bertanya, macam tadi Datuk sebutkan for the staff yang ada negative vibes tu, you ask them to write, then dia akan fikir apa benda yang. How about kita as a leader? Do you find yourself macam menulis, Datuk menulis dalam satu tahun berapa banyak buku tu? Do you find yang menulis sesuatu tu adalah another way untuk put ourselves sendiri in positive vibes tu? Itu saja tu.
Yeah, I think the first one was to kill the negative attitude, because the moment dia kata, I don't think your idea is good and great, negatif lah, dia tak nak cuba kerja tambah, kerja buat weekend dan sebagainya. Kita kata, okay, put your argument in writing dalam one page or half page. To do that, becoming a liability, because when hitam dan putih masuk file dia, orang takut. Jadi itu akan menyebabkan dia fikir banyak, dan mungkin next time they cannot be negative. They have to think deeper and more serious. This is how to kill off the negative attitude on the go. As for us, we need to, you know, as a person, not necessarily chief librarian, as a person, as individual guy. For me, the moment you write, you become naturally positive, because you are thinking about ideas, dream, aspiration, perspective, and you wanted to make yourself relevant to the society by becoming a writer. Surely I agree with you, Puan, that by becoming a writer, you are a positive guy, and you don't take issue like letih, I don't have the time. And sometimes I go to some other meeting and some of the lecturers were saying, I don't think we can book, we have so many things to do. I turned my face to them and said, excuse me, what are you saying? You don't have the time? I kata, I lagi tak ada masa. I have many other companies, many other high posts in the government and corporate. I have 40 companies to look after. I have almost you know, this and that. I have to do this, and by doing that, they can appreciate that they can do basically, but they don't want to do. But I don't want to be that kind of rude and you know, not that friendly. Whenever I go to one of the university, I have this kind of conversation. I told them, either the NC or Timbalan NC or whoever they are, say, well, give me 1 hour that I can talk to your you know, staff and lecturers within your faculty or within university. Let me share with them the tips of becoming a high inspired writer. This is what I do. Yeah, I marah, I jeling, I tengok dia orang lain macam sikit, tapi I don't want to be an enemy. I wanted to be friend with them. I offer myself. Few universities have taken my offer. We have 1 hour Zoom session. They bring about 50 to 70 potential writers. I talk to them. Tak payah tulis buku atau tulis whatever report. Then I share my own experience. I motivate them. So Alhamdulillah, adalah daripada 7 to 20 or 10 of them took the challenge and becoming more active in writing. So this is what do I do. Basically, I have motivated them to become a good writer. The moment they become a writer, they are very much positive. Writer is the most, the most rewarded person on this planet, because they should be positive before they can write anything. I would agree with you, but I wanted to give a more flavor to that statement, because writing is for me healing. Dia menyembuhkan kepenatan dan juga kebosanan. Banyak masalah manusia, people talk here and there. The moment I open my manuscript, hilang habis. Just ideas, perspective, and you write for the future. You don't write for the history. People are querying about the history, about the legacy. When you write the book, you are writing for the future. When you live for the future, you become different personality altogether.
Okay, Datuk, soalan yang seterusnya, panjang sikit ni. A lot of library leaders are female.
Yeah.
Okay? A lot of the support staff are male. So itulah keadaan library kita. Bos-bosnya kebanyakannya perempuan, support staffnya adalah lelaki. What is the main thing that a female leader should avoid when leading a male-dominated office environment? Soalan dia, Datuk.
I'm not so sure how to answer. I don't have any boss who is a female myself. But my CEO in Dubai is a female. My CEO in KL office is female. Of course, I'm the chairman of the company. I give them the full power and freedom, and they're very reasonable. And they manage both female and male staff quite easily. Of course, they look at me as the source of inspiration. I taught them, literally I coached them for the last how many years, 10 to 15 years. So they have absorbed from me the way we manage our staff. We have to appreciate them. We have to celebrate their success story. It's not about sexes, different sexes, male or female. It's about human touch at the end of the day. I would like to believe that female CEO or leaders are more influential compared to men or male. So I think you have all the advantage to use that advantage for your own benefit. But the only problem, you might have the internal feeling that the male will not be supporting you. So you need to break that thinking that in fact you have all the positive point to make you close to them, because female ada sikit kelembutan, ada sikit cara yang agak unik yang Allah has given you, not for the male but for the female, for you to be a bit more influencing, a bit more convincing, a bit more be able to close the heart quite easily. If you're a good cook, you can cook something nice, bring them to your house, be your family. And this is something I do a lot to some extent. If not at my house, I bring them to have makan-makan after sembahyang Jumaat, sembang-sembang every week or every 2 weeks, play football. This is what I do as a man, but you cannot do that, of course. But the way that you can do, this is, you have to take the challenge, because no one is negative by design. By design, they become negative by default. By default, not by design. So you have to bring them back to the normal way of doing things. And you have all the advantage. If we have 7 positive points, you have 8 or 9 as a female leaders to influence your subordinate and your supporting staff. I believe in that, but try whatever you can to do that.
Okay, any more question from participant? Last question, please.
Last question, yeah, please.
Yeah, last question. How do you interview your candidate? Could you share daripada Dr. Kasiah, UM Chief Librarian?
Normally ada few layers of interview. First, I will ask my staff to interview informally or formally. Then I will get the feedback from my senior staff, what do they think about the candidate. Then I will interview I'm talking about the senior post, okay? Or then I will interview he or she. Then I will not give the result immediately. I will ask him or her to come back and chit chat again from the formal to informal. I start with the formal and I will follow up with the informal. Informal one is much better than the formal one. I don't believe in the formal interview, to be honest. I like the Steve Jobs approach. Formal interview is fake interview. So it's a very fake interview. So I like the informal one. Bring him in my car, drive him along, and talk about this and that, and try to put some scenario planning to him. How did he or she will respond back to me? Over lunch, over dinner, while driving together, while working together. This is the thing that, and true enough, last week I bring someone, my former, someone to be interviewed by my other partners, and true enough, waktu interview cantik, waktu makan-makan, waktu sembang-sembang, waktu there's no line of authority, then you can see the character. You know what I mean? So that is much more important. Then I have to stop that candidate from going up and have to look for another candidate. Alhamdulillah, Allah is great. Allah has given me the opportunity to see that if I were to bring this kind of person with this kind of character in the few words coming from his mouth, it will make the whole company not in harmony. Akan bergaduh dan sebagainya. Jadi I think go for informal meeting all the time. That's what. Satu lagi, most of my staff are handpicked. Handpicked maknanya I know them for many years. Ada recommendation from friend of friend and whatnot, and not very mentah or raw candidate. I don't believe in raw candidates in my small setup. In your case, susahlah sebab besar kan, tapi you have to do that kind of interview. And you have not confident enough in the private sector, give them a contract, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months for that matter. Don't take them on the full-blown kind of employment. Put them on contract basis first.
Okay, Dato', any last word and take home notes from you to all participants?
No, I think
the session.
I'm not a great mentor or great leader or teacher. I'm talking to my colleagues among the librarian or chief librarian. I have gone through my life as an academician, living literally in the library for 4 to 5 hours a day, morning until in London University, in St. Andrews University, in Kuwait University, in many universities of the country for that matter. So I like to see the chief librarian is someone who can provide the vibrancy for everyone coming to the library. And everyone should know who is the chief librarian by name, by face, by character. And this is something you need to work a bit harder. Only then can you claim that you are a good chief librarian. Okay. By name, people know you. Every student know who is the chief librarian as they know who is the rector or the NC of the university. Of course, it's tall order, but you have to do that. Number 2, you have to be seen as friend to the staff and the lecturers and the student, and you need to be engaged in their social program more often. Rather than being trapped in your small office in the library. Go out and talk to them and be close to them and do whatever you can. The third, be visible. Be visible in the top management, in the discussion, in whatever big program of the university, and try to compete for the airtime. Try to compete for the poster, for the advertisement within the university, and don't ever think that you are managing the least important agency of the university. You are not. You are managing the best asset of the university, the books and the document and the report. If you can have that mindset, inshallah, the chief librarian and your organization will be more respected. and you have to fight to be respected. You have to fight to be acknowledged and accredited. And this is the last word. Everyone must fight, in this world, not for the sake of being respected, because wanted to be known and regarded as someone, but for your organization to be respected, for the library to be respected at the end of the day, not for your own sake and for your own name and for your own post, but for the library of the university. And that's why the library must be in the center stage of the university, at the main entrance, at the social program, at the sport tournament. Library is everywhere. Library is the sponsor, not in cash though, in whatever in kind. So you need to be visible all the time. And remember the word ratio. I'm not that happy. I was not that happy when I was a lecturer from my own student in the classroom. They didn't go to the university because the way we teach our student does not jive well with the requirement of the university. It's a mismatch. So we have to fight the mismatch. And this one assignment in the coming Senate meeting, you need to prepare the paper how to deal with the mismatch of the book that we have and the traffic to the university. And that is the job of the dean, and not job of course the librarian to help the dean to deal with the mismatch effectively. Otherwise, it becomes a wastage in the balance sheet of the university. Many books, many good reports, many good documents, but our students were never exposed to the library. I'm sure some of students never put their feet in the library until they have graduated. It could happen, and it's very, very sad that students never come to the university in the entire 4 years of their study. Whose fault is that? Everyone, including the Chief Librarian. Thank you.
Terima kasih Datuk di atas penghargaan dan juga sokongan Datuk yang berterusan kepada library dan juga
cabaran dan juga cabaran.
Dan juga cabaran.
Ya.
Datuk adalah loyal customer for the library actually. Masa saya kat UIA dulu, saya handle law library. So Datuk adalah memang customer yang biasa datang.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So itulah, alhamdulillah di atas perkongsian yang telah diberikan oleh Datuk tadi sangat bermanfaat kepada kita semua. Dan marilah sama-sama kita take home note kita, balik kita wujudkan satu corner yang mungkin kita panggil mindset corner, ataupun sebenarnya dalam istilah librarianship dah ada Datuk dipanggil bibliotherapy corner.
Okay.
Di mana satu corner tempat yang santai dan kita wujudkan satu koleksi berhampiran dengan ruang tersebut. Ada koleksi novel, koleksi motivasi, buku motivasi, how to control stress dan sebagainya. So ada a few libraries sebenarnya telah mengadakan.
Ada gula-gula, candies, ada. I mean, this is something you have to make it lifestyle. Ada candies yang percuma take away, or the good chocolate here and there, biscuit. This is something that do something yang differently for different result. You cannot expect different result by doing the same thing over and over. You can't.
Right. Okay, Datuk. Terima kasih banyak-banyak bagi pihak penganjur. Sekali lagi kita mengucapkan terima kasih ke atas masa dan ruang yang Datuk peruntukkan untuk menghadiri program pada pagi ini atau pada petang hari ini. So saya kembalikan kepada Puan Raudah untuk program yang seterusnya. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Puan Zahra. Majlis mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud bin Bakar dan Puan Moderator di atas perkongsian sebentar tadi. Para hadirin yang dihormati, bagi meraihkan majlis sebagai tanda kenangan, para hadirin diminta mengaktifkan kamera masing-masing untuk sesi bergambar. Harap semua dapat bersedia? Okey, kita akan tangkap gambar. Sekejap lagi. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 10. Okey, kali ini secara santai pula gambar.
Okay.
Style. 1, 2, 3. Semua yang telah diberikan.
Okay.
Okey, alhamdulillah jam telah menunjukkan waktu lebih kurang dalam 12.23. Kita akan berhenti berehat bagi sesi rehat minda, makan tengah hari dan juga solat zuhur di kediaman masing-masing. Majlis akan bermula semula pada jam 2.30 petang. dengan perkongsian sesi yang ketiga. Untuk itu kita berehat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan terima kasih.
Terima kasih Datuk.
Terima kasih Datuk. Assalamualaikum.
Datuk.
Assalamualaikum.
All the best.
Terima kasih Datuk. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Allah Datuk.
Terima kasih Datuk. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih.